BPod Studios.
On the air, online, on the air. This is how Boston sports fans start their day. Toucher and Hardy on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Fred, hello. Yeah. Hello. Human feces, urine, and debris. Ta-da. Hello. Yes. Hello. Jackpot. Hello. How humiliating. Let me hear you say, oh. Let me hear you say, oh. Na 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 na. Hey, good morning, everybody. Good morning. We're Toucher and Hardy. We're brought to you by FanDuel Sportsbook. Make every moment more with FanDuel. In the Town Fair Tire Studios, you can watch us on Twitch at twitch.tv or the Twitch app. You can call us at 617-779-0985. Have you ever look at the Instagram reels? Do you ever find yourself and then 2 hours have gone by and you've just been looking at Instagram reels?
That's why I took the Instagram icon off of my phone screen. In order to look at Instagram, I have to be on a computer or I have to search it on my phone, type in Instagram. The app is still there, living somewhere on my phone, but the icon is not readily available to me. I can't. I don't know how much time I wasted looking at reels, but yeah, I'm with you.
Well, I told you I was like, I don't really watch that much TV anymore. And I'm like, oh, good for you, Fred. Look at you. You're a busy boy. And then I'm like, well, I'm spending 3 hours a day looking at these reels, which is worse than watching TV.
Don't you get sick to your stomach after a while? Like there's something about the size of the phone or the screen, or maybe like you're holding yourself in the same position for so long, you kind of snap out of it. I'm like, ugh. I'm a little woozy.
I think the fifth time I've seen like a dog do nothing really cute that I've been told is the cutest thing in the world, or maybe when it's a couple doing anything.
Yeah. These aren't particularly fascinating things you're looking at either.
No.
And all of a sudden an hour has gone by.
Yeah. All right, but nonetheless, it's a habit, and it's the definition of a habit because it's almost a subconscious thing that I do. Like I was looking at it before the show. But look at this. Look at this content.
Oh, okay.
All right, because I bet you I can surprise you. I'll ask you your opinion. It says it gives you a choice of 10 acoustic songs, just acoustic versions of songs.
All right.
And I just want you to tell me. You guys tell me your top two, and then I'll tell you. And then I want you to guess what my top two are. It might surprise you.
All right.
Radiohead, High and Dry. Nirvana, Come As You Are. Goo Goo Dolls, Iris. Alice in Chains, Nutshell. Eric Clapton, Layla. Beatles, Yesterday. Bob Dylan, Mr. Tambourine Man. Johnny Cash, Hurt. Pearl Jam, Black. Blind Melon, No Rain. I want you to give me the top two and the bottom two out of those 10. Now, you don't, even if you don't like any of them, I would just, if you had to listen to two and you could never listen, you could tell them you never had to hear two.
I got to just raise my hand. Why acoustic? Because Nine Inch Nails' Hurt is not an acoustic song.
It's Johnny Cash Hurt.
And not what was the other one in there?
Come As You Are is not necessarily an acoustic.
That's not acoustic.
No, but they did the acoustic, the unplugged.
Okay, read them again real quick. Just read them quick.
I already know what are your bottom two.
Yeah, but you might not know my top two.
Okay.
Radiohead, High and Dry. Nirvana, Come As You Are. Goo Goo Dolls, Iris. Alice in Chains, Nutshell. Eric Clapton, Layla. The Beatles, Yesterday. Bob Dylan, Mr. Tambourine Man. Johnny Cash, Hurt. Blind Melon, Black. Or Pearl Jam Black. Blind Melon, No Rain.
All right. I know your bottom two. You want me to guess?
No. I want you to tell me your top and bottom two.
I would like to hear. There's something about that.
Okay, I'll go. Jesus. I'll go. Because I have strong feelings about
Go ahead.
this.
Right.
Show us your strong feelings.
He
Hardy.
was in radio during all of this.
My top two are High and Dry and, shocker, Clapton's acoustic Layla. I like that better than the original.
I do too. That was going to be one of my two.
I don't care for the acoustic version of Pearl Jam's Black and the Blind Melon. It doesn't do anything for me. I don't hate them.
Bob Dylan and Blind Melon are your bottom two. They're my bottom two. I want nothing to do with either of those two. The Mr. Tambourine Man, which I hated.
There's a choice we're making.
Yeah, hated the original.
We're saving our own lives.
Dylan's one of those artists you get or don't get,
day.
and you have strong feelings one way or another. Some people swear by him. I think he's horrible. I've always thought he was horrible.
Just you and me.
Yeah.
And what are your top two?
I like Come As You Are. I like Come As You Are a lot, and I like Layla. Those are my two.
All right, I'm going to shock the world. You want the bottom or the top first? You guys tell me because it's going to blow minds.
Bottom, because I think I'm right about this.
You are not.
Really?
You're right about one of them. The worst song of all time, almost, is Blind Melon's No Rain, so that goes last.
Yes.
Nirvana's Come As You Are.
What?
Wow.
I hate Nirvana Unplugged. I hate it. Now, there's many reasons
That's a powerful
for it.
song. That would be a power bottom, I think. You could describe that.
Well, it's all about friction, Hardy. I would tell you that that we played that so effing much because it existed before I got into radio, and it just sat around in gold rotation. Like they played a lot in rotation, and I never liked it. And then I started to really hate it.
So part of your problem with this, and I get it because I was part of this too. Number one, Nirvana Unplugged is the one CD that I contend that more people had than any other CD in the 90s. Didn't matter what type of music you were into. If you were hanging at a friend's house, you went over and looked at their CD collection. The biggest common denominator CD was Nirvana MTV Unplugged in New York.
Fair enough.
Everybody had a copy of that, number one. I like certain songs on it. I never need to hear About a Girl again or
About
The Man Who Sold the World. I never need to hear it again. I really, really like the last song on the album, which Fred is going to hate. Kurt covering Leadbelly's Where Did You Sleep Last Night?
I don't even know it that well because we didn't play it on the radio.
Okay. I love it, but it kind of brings into this whole resurgence of, lost blues recordings that people pretended to really, really get into in the 90s, the Robert Johnson, the box set.
Oh, yeah.
And Fred, I'm with you. I defy you to put that thing on and listen to it like Jack White does. And have you seen the This Might Get Loud documentary? It's
I can't watch it.
The Edge, Jimmy Page. And he's playing this old record. Jack White is playing one of these old blues records, like on a Victrola. He's like, this is my favorite song. And it's like,
Yeah, I know.
And he's like, really nodding along to it.
There
like,
was someone on this show that used to pretend to like Robert Johnson.
Shut up. No.
Yeah.
No.
Not good.
I can appreciate and understand what he means to music and that he is a fascinating person, but to put the record on now in the 21st century and listen to it and say, this is really good, you are a liar.
That's well said, because that is absolutely well said, because there's one thing to appreciate the history of it or maybe how it influenced generations ago that evolved into what we have now, but generations and generations ago. But no one's the audio recording quality of the recordings are just are unlistenable.
Right.
All right, but what you will not, but this is going to throw a curveball at you again.
Okay.
Top two. Johnny Cash is heard as number one. But number two, the Goo Goo Dolls Iris. I like the Goo Goo Dolls Iris. And those were Danny Bryan's twos, too. I like Goo Goo Dolls
Sunday
Iris.
mornings.
Well, you guys didn't ask me because I played them a lot as well. But no, Goo Goo Dolls were going to be there. My number one would have been High and Dry.
Oh, High and Dry. I don't mind High and Dry.
Just because, you know why? I just didn't hear it or play it a lot.
Well, I mean, I would
a lot
put,
of those other
Well,
ones
that's
I
the only
played a lot.
Radiohead album I like is Depends.
I would put Radiohead's acoustic version of Fake Plastic Trees, in my top a lot of stuff. I think that's
Yeah, but
that's a
it
good
wasn't in
one,
that.
too.
It wasn't on that Reels, Hardy. So no one cares.
Right. Now you're going off the reservation.
Like, what are we doing here? Stop.
Fred's Reel of the Day.
You know, the Goo Goo Dolls get a lot of crap. First of all, they were like a punk band for a very long time. They have a very ugly bass player, and they get a lot of crap. Now, I think that is Iris the one that's about Kennedy, or is that another one of their songs?
No, I thought Iris was from that city.
Hey, the city,
Nicolas Cage
the Nicolas Cage, Meg Ryan, Dennis Franz.
No. But there's I don't know. Name is about Kennedy the DJ, and I'm like, why do you like Kennedy the DJ? Maybe that's. I think she's even a little too alternative for Hardy over here.
Oh yeah,
She's got the right body, but not the right face.
No, that's,
she's got glasses and everything else. in
I'm
black
not down
hair.
with that.
No, he ain't down with that.
The Goo Goo Dolls Iris is that I Don't Want the World to See Me.
Yeah.
What a wonderful film. Okay, let's spend the rest of the show talking about City of Angels.
I've never seen it.
Oh, you're doing yourself a disservice. Nicolas Cage is an angel, and the angels walk among us, Fred. And sometimes they intervene, other times they do not. They are intimately involved in our lives, but they can't experience things the way we do.
They're eunuchs.
No, they're very sexual, these angels. So much so that Nicolas Cage, spoiler alert, decides to literally and figuratively take the fall from grace so that he can join Meg Ryan on Earth and they can be together.
That sounds like something you would do, and Meg Ryan especially.
She got a little too, big for her
Fake
britches.
plastic trees.
Oh yeah, with the lip
just gonna say,
injections and
Plasticness really overcame her at the end.
it's just
There's a lot of pressure on a young woman in Hollywood. I mean, the minute you hit like 35, there's a lot of pressure on you.
Why is this thing still playing? God bless it. All I'm trying to do is play this stupid Jack White song that he says is his favorite song. Okay. Do you want to listen to this? This is from that documentary.
I'm sure it's not scratchy at all.
Okay, go ahead and let's see if we can listen to this, Dan. If you've got me pulled up over there.
Yeah, we've been hearing it.
That you could do that, just singing and clapping. And it meant everything. It meant everything about rock and roll, everything about expression, creativity, and art. One man against the world in one song.
Oh, he's just sitting alone in the room of this attic of this, not fully restored farmhouse. This is my favorite song. Shut up!
I thought
it's not.
Jimmy Page had to stand there and suffer through
Jimmy
this.
Page stole it probably already, but I'll tell you this.
Your favorite song is "Stairway to Heaven," Jack. Insufferable.
That's like my friend Jay came over to my house and had me watch that Irish movie about the guy who cut off his fingers. And then we sat there pretending it was funny. All right.
The Banshees of Inisherin.
The Banshees of whatever the hell it's called. All right. What are we getting into? What happened last night, Hardy? I need to know.
The Celtics played last night. That's number one. There is trouble overseas, Fred, in terms of a certain soccer star and a star closer to home. Very, very confused, like the rest of us, that his former coach doesn't have a job. Guess who? And we'll do all that.
All right. I'm looking forward to it.
BackstageCountry.com, your online home for all things country music. Wondering who made our list of the top 5 all-time queens of country music? Did Carrie Underwood make the cut? Find out now when you text Queens to 45911 and scroll through the list on BackstageCountry.com. Text Queens to 45911 to see the talented artists who rounded out our top 5 list.
Toucher, Hardy.
You get used to sitting back and letting Daddy drive the car.
98.5 The Sports Hub.
Did you catch a game last night?
Hey, we're Toucher and Hardy. What happened last night is brought to you by Jackpocket. Download the app now and use code HUB to get your first lottery ticket free. What's going on?
I'll tell you what's going on is we're sitting here wondering how the Celtics were going to be playing last night. They were home last night to take on the Atlanta Hawks. Wallach, were you surprised the last time the Celtics and Hawks met up in a playoff series? I myself was. I thought the Celtics should have been able to dismantle the Hawks with great ease.
Yeah, they
this
went
is a team
to
that
Atlanta.
gives them trouble.
Yeah, they lost at home in a Game 5 and had to go back in Game 6. Yes. I was surprised. Yes.
Dun, dun, dun. I'm not doing anything. There's nothing playing on my computer. I don't know what this is. Is that me? Is this coming out of my computer?
That is coming out of the position that you are sitting in. Yes, correct.
I don't know.
Okay.
You just shut it off. Congratulations.
I have to turn the whole thing off. Okay. Well, as long as I don't have any internet access, everything will be fine.
Yeah.
So last night, the Celtics...
You try to touch the sun by playing stuff out of the computer.
I know. The things that we ask for around here are really out of line. To think that you could have your thing work or that this thing could...
Well, I went straight to the top yesterday.
How'd that work out?
It did. They responded right away.
Is it fixed?
I don't know. Probably not.
Okay. Anyway, they got everybody involved early and often last night against the Hawks there at TD Garden.
From lob attempt, Derrick White to Luke Cornett. Two-hand slam, and now the Celtics starting to pick Atlanta apart. They've gone from 5 points down to tie it at 23.
The Condor.
The Condor.
Luke Cornett is the Condor.
Apparently he is.
Yeah.
That's the first time I've ever heard that. I've never heard him described as the Condor.
We were talking about this yesterday. How much do you think Sam Hauser is going to end up making?
Oh, Sam Hauser, you say?
32-29. Tatum lobs it out to the wing. Sam Hauser for the tie. Got it.
When he's shooting that ball like that, man, that's a thing of beauty.
Now, he's 45 years old in his second year, but Sammy Hauser's going to end up, having some money locked away. Like, Sammy Hauser's going to be able to, teach, he's going to be able to do something for the community. He's not going to have to, chase that almighty dollar anymore. Sammy Hauser's going to get paid for a while. He's from that Hauser family. You know how I feel about them.
Oh, yeah.
Good family.
Oh, yeah. But it wasn't all about Sam Hauser and Luke Cornett. As a matter of fact, Jason Tatum did more than his share last night.
Tatum dribbling between his legs, trying to put a Congo to sleep. Switches to the left hand, goes around him, and scores off the glass. He's got that one going.
He didn't have anything going. He was terrible from the field.
Did not play well.
No, he played like crap.
But they had that layup line thing going last night where they were, as a team, I think at one point, God, the number was crazy. I want to say it was like midway through the third. They had only missed, I want to like 7 shots or something from the field. Tatum was missing. There were weird misses on both ends of the court. Bunnies underneath the hoop that didn't look particularly well defended, and the offensive rebounds. It drives you nuts when the other team is getting them. I think more than anything else in watching an NBA game, but. Once again, as I've been saying for a while now, ever since Kristaps Porzingis joined this team, when he's on.
Tatum has the rebound and gets it away to Derrick White. Wow. Sadiq Bey will never get more open than he was
Someone
there.
fart?
He's had these shots.
All right, quick fart court.
Here we go.
All right, real quick. Play that again.
Tatum has the rebound and gets it away to Derrick White. Wow.
Did the PA guy just put the microphone up to his ass? John doesn't care for that because, all right, we can't do fart court. But I won't do this to my former partner. But,
wow.
I mean, seriously, did Cedric Maxwell take the microphone and put it up to his ass? That sounds like a loud fart. Go ahead.
He gets it away to Derrick White.
You know how when people fart at Walmart or like they take the in-house like PA and put it up to their ass? That's exactly what that sounded like.
All right. Well,
maybe I've been doing this show for too long.
No, it's fine. One more time.
Derrick White.
All right.
No, Porzingis scored a bunch of points. Celtics there.
Yeah, he did.
So there we go. The Celtics get the win 125-117.
You had to be psyched yesterday.
Why was I psyched yesterday?
Not you, John, but Hardy. You had to be psyched actually as a member of this show because the Celtics made a trade for someone who the two people you do the show with are uniquely qualified to speak on. Do you know who the trade they made? Do you know the trade the Celtics made yesterday?
From the Timberwolves, yeah.
Do you know the trade they made yesterday, John?
Are you talking about Xavier Tillman?
Yes. Why would Hardy and I be uniquely qualified to speak of Xavier Tillman?
Well, I don't know why you
He went to Michigan State.
Oh, there you go. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. I didn't think
bit
about
of a
the
stifferoo at Michigan State
connection. Yes.
Yeah. You do not let the man shoot.
No.
That is not his forte, but he's a muscular fella.
Remember they traded for Mike Muscala last year, and you asked me, is Muscala ever going to get any minutes during the playoffs?
Yeah.
This is kind of like that, only Tillman will be on the floor for a few because he can play defense.
Well, no, Tillman's a very good defensive player.
Yes.
He's just a stiff offensively. He never really did much. He was one of those guys that when he was 19 looked like he was 45. He had a bit of who was the center from Ohio State that got hurt, that got taken? But
Greg Oden?
Greg Oden. He's got a little bit of Greg Oden in him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Tillman was like a grown man. Like he was one of those Izzo guys that were like fully formed at 18.
That's right. Oden, did Portland draft him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Number 1 overall.
Talk about a 45-year-old looking 25-year-old.
You remember who went second in that draft? Kevin Durant.
Yeah, that's what I just said. I said the guy who had taken before Kevin Durant. Why don't you fix that deaf ear of yours? Deafy.
He had it looked at.
Well, no, all they did was take it out.
They didn't take the ear out.
Nah, they left the cosmetic part of it, but not the real part of it.
It was a tumor. All right. Tatum, you like Porzingis?
It's been great. It's been real seamless, I would say. High character person and obviously a player. It just makes it easier for all of us on both ends of the floor.
Yeah, because he's really good, and he makes shots when the rest of you aren't necessarily knocking him down. Him, Derrick White, have come to the rescue multiple times this year.
His ability to shoot over the top of anybody, attack mismatches. So, with our space, our driving kicks, we just got to pass the pill and make open reads. And, 4 to 5 guys out there who can shoot, pass, and dribble. And KP is at the top of that list.
There you go. You want to hear what Joe Mazzulla had on that Xavier Tillman fella you're just talking about?
I'm sure Fred? It's not weird at all.
Toughness, he can pass, skilled, high IQ, obviously a good defender in pick and roll, and excited to have him. And it'll be important for him to get up to speed kind of on our defensive schemes. And I think he'll give us some versatility.
I don't know what porn has to do with anything, but he seems to be hell-bent on mentioning it.
Hello.
God.
You good?
Is that the melon? Oh no, it's the DC.
It's the DC.
Okay. It's the DC doing that too.
It's carbonated beverages. I apologize.
Yeah. Grief. Some other news we should get to here sooner than later. Mike Reese reporting yesterday that Brian Belichick is going to be back on the coaching staff next year. So we already know that Steve, in a move that I am still scratching my head over, took a job as the defensive coordinator at the University of Washington earlier this week, even though he had been offered to stay on the staff. These guys leaving for OC jobs on college teams after they could have presumably been.
Well, I know why Steve Belichick did it.
Here. Why?
Because he wanted to get out. It's probably just wanted to get away and make his own way. I actually admire what he did there.
Yeah.
I think that was a good move. I would have if Steve Belichick was my son, that's what I would have told him to do. That's going to be a program they just lost their stud head coach, but that's a big program. It's far away as you can be. He's going to, be able to sit there and make his own name for himself.
The recruiting aspect will be very interesting to me for him.
Well, he's got one of those ironic mullets, so he'll probably fit right in.
All those faces he makes. It just you want to talk about awkward.
Can you imagine recruiting too in Washington when you got to go to those like crazy logger hicks? Like you got to go into those like weird logging places that alienated Kurt Cobain.
See, that was the beauty of his dad leaving. He could get out for the most part from underneath his dad's shadow and not have to go anywhere.
No, but maybe he didn't want. Maybe he's close to Mayo, and he didn't want to be like he felt that Mayo was an equal, and he didn't want to do it. Maybe he resented Mayo because now word's coming out that Mayo kind of threw Belichick under the bus, and they had a $10 million buyout if he didn't get the head coaching job. So maybe there's a little bit of animosity between Steve Belichick and Mayo. But let's just say if Steve Belichick was my son. And I'm glad he's not. I would have said, look, if he goes, I could stay with the Patriots in some defensive capacity, or I could go to University of Washington, a huge program that just played for the national championship. I understand they have a new coach, and be the defensive coordinator there. I go, why don't you go take the Washington job?
And he knows the new head coach of Washington too.
Okay, he does.
The guy,
I didn't know that.
Jed Fish was the coach at Arizona, but he was a coach here.
In
2020.
Okay.
I'm not playing devil's advocate here. Everything you just said, he's tight with Mayo. It's like, he knows the head coach in Washington. He and Mayo are tight. And the one consistent thing that you could say, and you could argue it at times, that the defense wasn't great because they gave up a lot of points to the Cowboys and stuff. But the defense was the only thing worthy of mention from this Patriots team for the entirety of last season. So you stay here, you continue to build upon that with the coach that you know and you are friendly with, and you stay in the NFL.
But this doesn't preclude him from going back to the NFL. I mean, Washington's a giant program. I mean, Washington's a darling program.
Top 10 program.
Top 10, top 15 program. I mean, this isn't. I think it's good for him. I think it's even good for him to get out of the NFL for a while. I think that it's good.
Why?
Because he's just associated with his father, and his father is a controversial figure right now. It was obviously nepotism. It's the definition of nepotism that he got into the Patriots organization. Let him go prove his own way. Let him go make it on his own. What if Washington's defense is like insane? And then you can't. There's nothing on him. You can't say it was because of his dad. You can't say it was because of the Crafts. You can't say it was because of Gerard Mayo, who's a defensive head coach. You can't say anything. He goes out there to Washington. He coaches those guys up. He's young. He gets to coach college kids. He's obviously looks like a college. I mean, he looks old, but he's got a college kid, stupid, ironic mullet. He probably loves it.
He'd be the 24-year-old going back to the fraternity party. That's him.
Yeah, I could see that happening. Couldn't you see him getting in trouble? For being in a
absolutely.
party?
And one other thing, you can't be
being a ring cam.
You can't be a Belichick and be with the Patriots in a high position and not be compared to the father, regardless of who the head coach is.
He's going to be compared to his father.
Yeah, but not here. Not here, though.
Here's different.
Yeah, Washington's as far away as you can go.
If he's the Chicago Bears defensive coordinator, that's different. Like Shanahan. Went away from his father, succeeded, and came back. And one other thing,
I think we went already over.
He's a big baby. He can't be compared to his
big
father
baby
anymore.
not wanting to be accused of nepotism. Go ahead.
I would have liked to have seen if the decision to make DeMarcus Covington the defensive coordinator came before or after Steve had decided to leave.
No, I don't. I think it came before.
Well, and if that's the case, Steve Belichick's like, okay, I've been part of these defensive meetings.
Now that is a reason.
Why are you promoting this guy over me?
If that's a reason to leave.
He doesn't have a mullet.
Good point.
All right, we will be back.
Brian Belichick is staying, by the way. That was the whole point
safety's
of that story.
coach.
Yes.
Yeah, and we can all because he's the smart one, apparently, according to everyone in the know. All right, we will be back. Hardy, what do we got? What do you want to talk about?
Huge international intrigue as to why a certain superstar didn't play in one country, but then played in another country, Fred. You tell me the reason. You have all the answers. You got all the answers about everything.
The only thing
You're
internationally...
so smart. Well, I'm just dumb, like everyone says. I'm not smart, like you, who gets respect. You tell me why this guy played in one country, didn't play in the other country.
I just saw Kendra, so I think every time you say international news, I don't know if this little guy is going to be driving for Ferrari or not. It's like...
Oh, yeah. Very important F1 news. That's why she's here. Yep.
It's like Jesus became Muslim or something. I mean, it's like the biggest news of all time.
Even though everybody speculated for years, apparently. It's like, he did it.
I mean, Jesus. Can we stop insisting upon that?
I can't wait to hear what Lewis Hamilton's up to this week.
Oh, well, I'll tell you what.
Props to you for remembering the name.
Well, Lewis Hamilton, I'll tell you what, he's not doing anything good in that bouncy house. All right, we will be back. Here are the headlines.
BackstageCountry.com, your online home for all things country music. Country music has so many generous artists who always seem to jump in to help those in need. We're spotlighting 5 who lead by example and lend a helping hand to charitable causes. See who made our list when you text GIVE to 45911. Text GIVE to 45911 and read all about it right now on BackstageCountry.com.
Zolak and Bertrand get you through the workday at 10. Right now, it's Toucher and Hardy on the Sports Hub.
At 8 o'clock this morning, we have something special for you. Very quick, but something nice.
It's real nice.
Let's not go crazy.
It's real nice.
All right. I'll tell you this. Is this the Dropkick Murphys or is this the other Irish band?
Street Dogs?
I thought this was Flogging Molly.
Is it Flogging Molly?
Flogging Molly.
I mean, there's no difference. This hour of Toucher and Hardy is brought to you by FanDuel Sportsbook. Make every moment more with FanDuel. What else is going on?
Hong Kong. The government in Hong Kong is demanding answers. Why, Inter Miami CF, did Lionel Messi not play in Hong Kong when he was apparently fine to play in Japan just 3 days after missing a game in Hong Kong?
Why are they playing? Why is the MLS playing in Hong Kong and Japan? They can barely play here.
Well, it was a friendly, number one, and they are just over there, kind of like spreading the word about the beautiful game. And
so they're like, hey, look at the 150th best rung of players in the world.
But not Lionel Messi.
Lionel Messi, yes. Lionel Messi, and he doesn't stand out at all.
And that's why 40,000 people showed up for the match in Hong Kong, with them paying nearly Hong Kong $5,000 Hong Kong dollars, which works out to $640 a ticket. But that's probably a lot of money in Hong Kong. Showing up and expecting Lionel Messi to be on the pitch, only to not see him take the field. Then in Tokyo, magically, he's okay to play. And entire blocks of seating there at the Japan National Stadium were unoccupied.
Oh, it's like they got bamboozled.
They only sold 28,000 tickets.
He played in the wrong game, if you ask me.
Or people just thought he wasn't going to be playing, and then they didn't buy tickets, and they didn't pay the exorbitant amount of yen that it would have required.
But they could have seen Chet Brown play. Defenseman.
What are you? Oh, you're eating. That's why. Okay. That's why. Yeah, you know what? I had to put my headphones on earlier when you were chomping on your fruit over there, and now if you're going to do it on mic, I'm just going to have to kill myself.
Oh, so it's you and your wife both are weird.
It's something about the fruit chewing. It's very wet.
Oh, you should see what comes out after. Fiber.
Anyway, they are literally asking for answers, and something tells me that the government in Hong Kong, which is of course controlled by China now. When they ask for answers, they actually expect answers. They're not taking this lightly. They feel they have been wrong.
Well, they do have a right to see Lionel Messi play. They absolutely do. But I think that they met when Saul Rabinowitz was playing goal. I mean, I think that's part of the pay too.
It's part of the draw. It wasn't the only draw.
No, I mean, when Saul, we sold our souls for Saul. He's the best goaltender in Inter Miami.
I should have looked into all of this ahead of time. How much soccer coverage will we be doing on the show? Because we did a lot on the midday show. We've had the head coach and/or sporting director join us on a weekly basis for years, going back to Brad Friedel. We called that segment Friedel and the Beetle. We had Bruce Arena on with us for years. He was actually a very good guest, but we all know what happened with Brad.
I wouldn't hold your breath.
So, I mean, is
waiting.
Well, no,
is
part
there
of the
as
reason
much? Is there more coverage on this show?
Part of the reason we wanted Hardy was his connections with the Rev.
Okay.
Oh.
Because we tried to get Sarge, but he's
busy.
Yeah, he's like, I can't give up. He's like, if you're in the press box, you hear my voice over
I
the
have
speakers.
to tend to Sarge's yard. I understand.
If you want if you want Sarge to come in here, all you have to do is order up a heap and helping of Kowloon, have someone else pay for it, deliver it, and Sarge will show up and take credit for it.
Or you could have a beautiful lady wrestler come into this. You could have Major Guns.
A big check for him to pose next to.
Major Gun. Yeah, I raised it.
As long as I live. The Andy Wong dropped off a bunch of food from the Kowloon, or somebody went to pick it up. Sarge showed up. I hadn't seen him in years in the radio station. He shows up. He's like, Hardy, make sure you go down the hall, get some food. No charge. No charge from the Sarge.
No charge for the Sarge.
I'm like, you didn't bring it. You didn't order it. You had nothing. You have nothing to do with it other than A, you know Andy Wong, and B, you are here now. That's it. That is your involvement.
But no one thrived during COVID like Sarge, because he would do like trivia via Zoom for companies from his playpen apartment. His, he would do it. He would do it from sometimes from the Lanai. He would do it from the Grotto. And every time he
rumpus room.
Every time he positioned himself on camera, this is not a lie. Every time he positioned himself on camera, behind him, displayed proudly many, many wrestling belts.
Yes.
She's like, yeah, ladies. Huh.
As a fellow trivia jock, Dan O'Brien, have you seen or witnessed Sarge doing a trivia night?
I have not. He is an independent contractor. He does his own thing.
Oh, he's not part of
I think he has his regular gigs.
I won't join one of them unions.
He's not part of the Stump Cabal?
He is not.
No,
I
I'm
am not
Stolen
either.
Valor Boys.
Whoa.
I am not either, no.
Who are you? What outfit you with now?
It's called Ponder.
Oh. All
right.
Ponder.
Yeah, I understand the definition of ponder. You didn't have to point to your brain and give me a knowing nod.
Danny is the king of Maine. He brings them into the Maine bars. Usually I can't stop burping. I just feel like a fool. All right. Yeah, go ahead. We got a break, but go ahead.
Okay, go ahead. Break. We'll do it. We'll see what Tom Brady had to say in the Let's Go podcast.
Yeah, let's
down
go.
the other
Let's
side.
go, everybody. Let's go. Okay, let's go. We brought in another boring guy too. Okay. All right. So we'll be back in just a moment.
BackstageCountry.com, your online home for all things country music. Award-winning movies often have incredible soundtracks, and many of those have gone on to become country gold. We've picked our top 5 country songs that have been nominated for an Oscar. Text Oscar to 45911 to see if your favorite made the list on BackstageCountry.com. Text Oscar to 45911 and we'll send the link straight to your phone.
Twitch feed of this is going to be used all around the internet.
Get up.
The cat is finally out of the bag.
Get up.
We're back. Toucher and Hardy.
Get up.
98.5 The Sports
All righty, Hardy. Let's go, everybody.
Hey, let's go.
Let's go. Hey, we're back, everybody. Here we go.
Here we go. Let's go.
Let's go. Here we go. Let's go.
Has Larry Fitzgerald ever said a word on that podcast?
No, but Larry Fine has.
Okay.
Let's go.
Tom Brady appearing on the Let's Go podcast had this to say about his former coach.
I don't know the criteria for hiring these guys, for hiring coaches. You know, I have never been a part of it. I mean, I'm surprised that the greatest coach ever doesn't have a job. You know, absolutely. But, you know, I'm surprised a lot of things in the NFL. I'm surprised. When I was a free agent, there was a lot of teams that didn't want me. I'm surprised that Steve Young started in the USFL and went to Tampa. I'm surprised that Tampa traded Steve Young to the 49ers. There's a lot of things that happen that, you know, for one reason or another, don't go exactly the way you think they should go.
And that's the kind of hard-hitting analysis you're going to get every Sunday on Fox.
Yeah, like
this fall.
I don't know how they hire coaches. So
I don't have an opinion on it. I'm just going to state facts.
And you know what? Sometimes in life, surprising things happen. And then I'm going to give a huge, just dumb analogy. It's stupid. Like, you know, a lot of good people do great things, and then they get old, and then they don't do them anymore.
Back to you.
You know, my dad was a big shot marketing guy,
a
Dartmouth graduate, and then he got old, and then he doesn't do it anymore.
Right, Kevin?
Right, Larry? Mm-hmm.
Yep.
It's like A.J. Hawk and Larry Fitzgerald have a show, and it's just called meditation.
The Sounds of Silence.
It's called Concentrate on the Breath.
It's called The Monks.
Yeah, if you ever just want to sit and be present, just listen to the A.J. Hawk and Larry Fitzgerald hour.
What a gig for either one of those guys.
Sit there.
I don't know. Hey, Tom, what do you think about Belichick? You know, it's weird. He's the best coach of all time. And, sometimes I don't know how coaches get hired, but it's weird.
Thank you.
Thank you. And now here's $100 million.
I'm not sure. I don't know.
Yeah. Very good. Steve Young, that Brady just mentioned there, he was on yesterday with Felger Maz, I think. Yeah, It must have been because he was talking about why he didn't play. He kind of answered Brady's question there. It's like, I don't know why Steve, want to know why Steve Young didn't play initially? Lefty. He was like 8th on the depth chart. And he said, and everybody started looking at Big Jim because Big Jim hates left-handed quarterbacks. He hates Tua because he's a lefty. He's like, why? He goes, I don't know, just aesthetically, it doesn't look right. But Steve Young made a really good point. He's like, left-handed quarterbacks are actually at an advantage because football is right-handed. Most guys are right-handed. The game moves, much like a racetrack does. They set it up for right-handed drivers. It is your inclination to want to drive a car in a certain way around the track if you are right-handed. Football is played right-handed. Left-handed quarterbacks learn to play the game right-handed, but they can also play left-handed. And they can see the field from that way, too. So Steve Young makes the case that left-handed quarterbacks actually have an advantage. So,
yes, spoken like a guy with a deformity.
Yeah, I was waiting for someone to say, well, yeah, you've overcome your genetic mutation very well, Steve.
I prayed for a left-handed son. And do you know that I got a left-handed son?
Mm-hmm.
The power of prayer is immeasurable.
I prayed for, I swear to God, I prayed, and I got a relationship with the man upstairs because I prayed for a left-handed son.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted a tall left-handed son.
Did you pray for a scholarship so you could save money?
Let's not go crazy.
Okay.
If the boy wants to play college baseball, I don't doubt he can, but let's not go crazy.
All right.
This isn't South Relic here. I mean, come on.
Yep.
We're working on velocity, John. Don't put pressure on the kid.
Okay.
A little baseball for you, too. The Vlad Guerrero Jr. arbitration. You saw this yesterday?
Oh, yeah, I saw it all. Yeah.
3-person panel picked his request rather than the Blue Jays' offer of $19.9 million in salary arbitration.
With $2 million apart.
Well, if we're doing stories, Matt Poitras is out for the season. I don't know why that was not mentioned, but okay. I guess I'm handling this segment now.
I said, what happened last night? That happened last night. We were talking baseball. I threw it in there.
All right.
Not to your liking?
I'm just kidding.
You can go piss up a crooked rope. Why don't you send it to Wallach with the headlines, and then we'll welcome in the bankroll bunch?
I don't know. I just don't know why you have to say why you couldn't say when she just pee up a rope.
I kind of like the crooked
rope.
It's
the alliteration.
That's all you're going to get
something
from Hardy.
About the S sound followed by the hard K. Piss up a crooked rope. That's what I want you to do.
That's like when Johnny Carson would say, that's not Kenosha. That's a funny town. All right, no commercials here, just the headlines. We'll be back with the bankroll bunch.